So when you're looking to find and describe the end behavior of your functions, you can refer to the end behavior chart. There are four different scenarios you want to consider. For the first one, if the degree of your polynomial is even and the leading coefficient is a positive number, this is an example of a polynomial that has an even, see our degree is 2, that's an even number, and the leading coefficient is a positive number. We don't see a negative sign here. And whenever this happens, even degree, leading coefficient that's positive, then our function of that graph should look similar to this parabola, this upright parabola here, where the end behavior on the left and the right, we see that it goes up on the left and up on the right. This is how we would describe it using words. And then using intervals, we would say that we have as x approaches positive infinity, the function will also approach infinity. And as x approaches negative infinity, that's on the left side, then the value of that function will approach positive infinity. If the degree of our polynomial is even and the leading coefficient is a negative number, this is an example, y equals negative x squared, then we would see a downward shaped parabola where the behavior on the ends, on the left and the right, we're going to move down on the left and down on the right. And we would describe that as x approaches positive infinity, the function approaches negative infinity, and also as x approaches negative infinity, the function approaches negative infinity. If we have an odd degree for our function, and if our leading coefficient is positive, then this is an example of what that function would look like, where we're up on the right and down on the left. So as x approaches positive infinity, the function will approach positive infinity. But as x approaches negative infinity on the left side, we see the function will approach negative infinity. And lastly, if the degree of our polynomial is odd, the leading coefficient is negative, then we would see the opposite movement where we're up on the left and down on the right. So as x approaches positive infinity, the function will approach negative infinity. And as x approaches negative infinity, the function will approach positive infinity. So use your end behavior chart to describe the behavior of your functions.